Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome you to another installment of Madden Ultimate Team. There's been a...
22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And we are underway from Santa Clara. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's Sanders. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big pickup of 38.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone. This time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
He'll look to throw. That is caught by Rice for a Dolphins touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're a backup to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
7 yards there and a first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now Mostert, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Got a man. It's Randy Moss, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. This is Mostert. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down and 4, Garoppolo gets this one to Juszczyk. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Here we go.
Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. After the sack on 1st down, Garoppolo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll look to throw here. Man open, it's Moss, complete. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
They'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. DK Metcalf, 76 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Garoppolo now. Got a man. It's Randy Moss. 19 yards there on the catch and run. after the pick on the last drive. 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with...
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Brian Urlacher, what a force getting in there for the sack. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Hall of Famer Night Train Lane. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run with Sanders, and he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw now on the final play. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the 3rd quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
At the 28-yard line.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. This will be caught by Randy Moss. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Here we go. Set. 60 out block. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Ready, go.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught. It's Jerry Rice. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 35. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big game.
They'll run with Sanders, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse,
and they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They're going to look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
Garoppolo going to go on 4th down. He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. A Miami 1st down on the 14-yard pickup. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score your...
That is caught by Rice for a Dolphins touchdown.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
Jerry Rice, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check it. Grace don't travel. Grace don't travel. Let her.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
It'll go as a 1st down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Garoppolo to throw. It's caught by Sanders. 23 yards, the final tally. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. Like 20!
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Check 31.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner 1st down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. And yet again, it's Garoppolo to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Well, the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Garoppolo, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Check 52.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. 6-time Pro Bowler Randy Moss, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray. They fake the handoff, now Murray. And quickly to his tight end, Clark. That's caught. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When you think about big-time middle linebackers, you do think about the strength and the force that they play with, as we just saw there from Brian Urlacher. But what an athlete. Remember, he was a safety in college at the University of New Mexico.
And in the NFL Defensive Player of the Year back in 05, also Bears all-time leading tackle, almost 1,800 of them. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. So the first catch for Jerry Rice, always fun to talk about. His career stats, Charles, they're so good. He leads in so many categories that we can't even get to them all.
Yeah, what do they say? He combines ridiculous statistical supremacy with crazy longevity. How about this? Most receptions, yards, touchdowns, just to name a few of the accolades along the way. It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. That is caught by Rice for a Miami touchdown. Jerry Rice there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lawrence Taylor. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. This one caught by Winslow. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Hester. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's taken down inside the 30. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Well, officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Back to throw now on 1st down. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Darren Waller, 28 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football?
And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They're going to look to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Murray now. And he's going to go down again. Brian Urlacher showing the explosiveness that led him to the Hall of Fame.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Rush in.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Got a man. It's Randy Moss. A gain there of 21 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. That is caught by Rice for a Dolphins touchdown. Jerry Rice in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. This will be taken about the 12. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it. And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half. See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll look to throw here on first down. Got a man. It's Randy Moss, complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too. Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie. I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career. After the turnover, here's Murray. He will find Winslow. That's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lawrence Taylor able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. On the return, Hester. Flexing his muscle at the 30.
Here we go. Here we go.
Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw complete there to Jerry Rice. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That is caught by Moss. Touchdown, Miami. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
3rd and 2, and here's Murray. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And the Raiders have got him. Credit the sack to the Oregon Duck, DeForest Buckner.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
So that'll back him up 5. Elliott now to add the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful. They've got this big lead. They said, forget one, we want 2. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead.
And, oh, that is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins.